Hey guys, it's Shelby again from the Boons Lake Regional Library in Warsaw. In this video, I'm going to show you how to make two different bird feeders with just a few simple supplies. The first one we're going to make is a pine cone feeder, and the second one is a little bit more challenging, but we're going to build a birdhouse that also feeds the birds. We're going to start with the pine cone feeder. So let's start with some of the supplies that you're going to need. You can find some pine cones lying around on the ground, or if you have a store nearby, you can also probably find them in the crafts section. You are going to need some creamy peanut butter, some bird seed, a paper plate, and something to spread your peanut butter with. I've got a popsicle stick. You can use a butter knife, or a spoon will work too. All right, so your first step is going to be to get your pine cone, and we're gonna start layering the peanut butter on there. So I'm gonna get my popsicle stick here, gonna put some peanut butter on there, and we're gonna start layering on the pine cone in all the cracks and the crevices that you can get it into. The peanut butter is gonna be what helps the bird seed stick to the pine cone, and that is how the birds will eat it off of there. All right, now once you have your pine cone covered in the peanut butter like this, there are a couple different ways that you can get the bird seed on there. The first way is to dump your bird seed out onto a paper plate, and you're going to roll the pine cone around in it to coat it with the bird seed. Or you can do it this way. You can hold your pine cone up above the paper plate and start pouring the bird seed onto the pine cone that way, and just making sure that you get as much bird seed packed on there as you can. Once you have your pine cone fully covered in the bird seed and it's packed on there nice and tight, you're going to need to get some string or some yarn, whatever you have lying around the house, to tie onto your pine cone. So I'm going to cut a little bit off of here, and we're going to wrap it around. It doesn't really matter where, as long as you get it nice and secured onto your pine cone. I'm going to do it around that first top layer. Might be a little messy, but once you get that tied around there, I'm just going to tie that. You might need help from a parent there. And then I'm going to tie a knot up at the top like that. And then now we can hang it from a tree branch outside, and that way we can watch the birds eat our bird seed off of our pine cone feeder. All right, let's move on to the next bird feeder that we're going to make today, and that is the Popsicle birdhouse feeder. Some of the supplies that you're going to need for this project are a whole package of the jumbo craft sticks. I got these in our craft section of our store here. This is the 75 pack. You're going to need almost all of these 75 sticks, so make sure you get a big pack of these. You're going to need some string, yarn, twine, whatever you have at home. This is what we're going to use to hang our bird feeder with. Of course, you're going to need some bird seed. And last but not least, you're going to need a hot glue gun. So you might need a parent's help for this. You're going to need the glue gun and some glue sticks. The first step of building our popsicle stick birdhouse feeder is to make the base. So you're going to start off with 4 popsicle sticks. You're going to lay them down, 2 like this, and then the second 2 you're going to put on top of those first 2 that you laid down. So it's going to look like this square here, and you're going to hot glue those down. Once you get those glued down, you're going to get 4 more, and you're going to start layering these on top of each other. So the next 2 are just going to be like the first 2 you did. You're going to put another 2 just like that, another 2 crossways like that. And you're going to keep doing that until you have 10 whole layers of popsicle sticks on top of each other. have your 10 layers of popsicle sticks all glued down and you have all those pesky hot glue strings pulled off of there, we are going to now build our base plate for the bird feeder. And this is what will keep the bird seed from falling through the bottom when we go to put that in there. So you're gonna need 8 more popsicle sticks, and you're just going to lay them down and line them up with the ones that you already have built until you completely close in that bottom layer. And you might not need 8, like I think I'm gonna be just shy of 8 there. And you also might come across some popsicle sticks that are deformed or have a part missing. You don't wanna use these kind of sticks on the bottom, otherwise you're gonna have bird seed that falls through the cracks and the holes of your bottom layer. So make sure that you get that bottom layer completely filled up, and so that there's no gaps, no holes in the bottom of your bird feeder. Now that we have our base plate glued on and that is set, we're going to set this aside for just a minute, and we are going to start building the sides of our bird feeder. You're going to need 9 popsicle sticks laid out just like this in a row, and you're going to do that twice. So you're going to need a total of 18 laid down side by side. These are going to be the 2 sides of the bird feeder. And then you're going to need to take 2 popsicle sticks and glue it just like this, if you can see that, so that all of these popsicle sticks are held together by these 2 that are going long ways here on our 9 popsicle sticks. And so you're going to do that twice so that you have 2 panels to go on the sides of your bird feeder. After you have your 2 panels built, here is the tricky part. When we're trying to put them onto our bird feeder, you're going to make sure that the bumpy side is facing outwards. So you want the 2 flat sides to be glued together and onto the birdhouse here. So what I did when I made mine is I glued a panel on like this first, so it's gonna be straight up and down, and then I glued the other one straight up and down also. Once I got them both on there and they were pretty good and glued on there, I was able to pull them very carefully together to glue the top part together in a triangle. So you want to be very careful, but the good thing with hot glue is if you mess up, you can just peel it off and re-glue it on there, and just make sure that it is good and sturdy and stable so that whenever you put it outside, it'll withstand the weather and all that good stuff. So you want to put quite a bit of glue on there to make sure that it gets on there. But be careful, because that hot glue can get very hot, and when you use a large amount to glue something together, it can be very hot. So you don't want to touch it, and you want to make sure that it gets set. I went ahead and glued my top part together here. So we've got a small line of glue that's kind of ugly that needs to be covered up. So we're going to take a popsicle stick, put glue right down the center, and just glue it right there on the top so that it covers up that glue mark. And then we are just about done. Once we get this glued on, just make sure that it is centered on there so it looks nice and even. And then the last popsicle stick that you're going to use is going to be the perch for the bird. When they go into your bird feeder, they can stand on it there. So what we're gonna do is you're gonna figure out which slot on your base here that you want your perch to be. So, and you're gonna put it about halfway through. And once you figure that out, what you're gonna do is pull it out just a little bit so that you can put your glue on there. We're gonna put just a big glob right there, and then you're just simply going to slide it back into that slot. Some might come out, that's okay. Whenever that dries, you can just pick that off with your fingernail. It's pretty simple to scrape that off of there. So we're gonna let that set. After you get your perch glued on there, just leave that sitting just like this. And as that dries, that will settle. And then there we have it. The hard part is done. We've got our birdhouse made. The last thing we have to do is get our string about a couple feet long. We're gonna cut that. Real easy to do this part. You're just gonna string it through the middle. You can also use wire if you want something a little bit more sturdy. That would work great. Once again, we're going to tie this up at the top. I've got hot glue strings everywhere. All right, once we've got that knot, you're just going to cycle that back through so that you cover up that string. And now you can hang it from a branch or a post if you've got one. Now there's a little bit extra things that you can do to make your birdhouse feeder a little bit more unique. You can paint it. I've painted mine brown over here on the side. You can paint it any color you'd like to make it yours. You can design it. You can put stickers on it. Anything exciting that you want to put on your bird feeder will make it look great to hang outside and watch the birds come eat their food. So once you have that all finished and you've got it painted, the last step that you're going to do is take your bird seed and you're gonna fill up this whole bottom layer there. You're just gonna fill it up as much as you can. And you don't wanna shake it around too much because if you've got some smaller bird seed, that'll come through the slats here. So you just wanna level it out, make sure the bottom is completely full. And then once you've got that full, you can take it outside and hang up your bird feeder and watch the birds come to eat. All right, guys, that is the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed my tutorial on how to make these super easy bird feeders, and I hope you try it at home and let us know how it goes. Stay tuned to the end of the video for another secret code to enter into your reading log. Keep reading, and I hope you watch our other videos as well. Bye!